Hi everyone, Dr. Craig here from Elevate Chiropractic, and in today's video I'm going to give you my top 5 ways that you can help look after your body when you're working on your computer from home. Well, it's definitely an interesting time at the moment with us being in lockdown and having to be in self-isolation at home. Now, if you're lucky enough that you can actually work from home, then you may find that you may be starting to get a little bit sore, a little bit achy if your workstation and your work environment's not what your body is used to. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my top 5 tips that you can do to see if your workstation is set up properly and how you can actually try and minimize some damage. So let's go and have a look at these. So tip number 1 is to work from the best location possible. Now, if you've got a desk at home, fantastic, make sure you use that. Another alternative to a desk is a dining table. We really want to try and avoid sitting in less than ideal positions, so things like at a stool, at a kitchen bench. We want to avoid sitting on the couch with our computer or laptop. We want to avoid sitting on the bed or on the floor. Of course, if you've got a place where you can do a standing desk, then that's going to work as well. But really want to just try and get into a best ergonomic position, and that's really going to be at a desk or at your dining table. So once we've got our good location, we want to make sure that our workstation is going to be set up properly, and that's going to be tip number 2. So tip number 2 is having a good ergonomic setup with our workstation. Now, we can be very pedantic, and I've made some videos and blog posts on these in the past, and you can find those on our website. But the 2 key things that I suggest that we look for in regards to workstation setup is the screen height. So ideally, we want the top of the screen to be at eye level. So if you've got a monitor, then you can raise it up a little bit just so the top of the screen's at eye level. The second thing we want to do is make sure that the keyboard and the mouse is close to your body. Now, ergonomics is all about 90-degree angles most of the time, and one of the key ones I look for is having a 90-degree angle at our elbow. So if we're from the side, we want the keyboard close to us so that our elbows are by our side and we're not leaning forward with our head in that forward position, which then puts a lot of strain on your neck and your upper back. So those are really the 2 key things to look for: is the top screen height, top of the screen eye level, keyboard, mouse close to you. Now, if you're working from a laptop, obviously that's going to make things hard in order to just lift your screen up. But if you do have a laptop, then the next tip is going to be the key one for you. So tip number 3 is to move regularly. Now, this is especially important if you can't do tip number 2 and have a good screen height and workstation setup. If you're working from a laptop, for example, we're looking down a lot, we want to make sure that we are moving regularly to try and minimize some of the damage that is done by being in that less than ideal position. So ideally, we want to move, say, every half an hour, and this may be something simple like setting a timer on your phone or on your computer. A friend of mine has a 30-minute egg timer, which is pretty cool. Turns it over. When that runs out, make sure you get up and move, go and have a glass of water, have a bit of a stretch, whatever you want to do. But whatever you can do in order to make sure that you can move regularly is going to be very important to help protecting your body when you're working at any computer or workstation, but especially if you're working from home. So tip number 4 is to do some basic stretches. Now, there's all sorts of stretches you can do. I'm going to show you 2 of my favorites. Okay, so the first one here is called the chin tuck. Now, if we are sitting a lot, we're usually in that rounded position, head forward position. Okay, that puts a lot of stress on muscles base of your skull, muscles across your shoulders. So we want to try and counterbalance that, and this is what the chin tuck does. And basically, what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our chin in, almost like we're trying to push our chin through the back of our neck. Or trying to create a double chin. We're going to hold that for 10 to 20 seconds, and you can repeat that as many times as you like, but it's a really great way of just stretching up through the back of the neck here. Okay. The second stretch is called the Brugger's relief position. Now, this is a really common stretch or position you can get into. It's a great way of trying to counterbalance that roundedness, head forward position that we get into when we are working, okay? Especially important if you are working from a laptop and you can't have nice height, screen height, so we are having to round and look down, okay? Now, I've written a couple of blog posts on this in the past. One was a few weeks ago explaining how it all works, but very simply, what you're going to do is you're going to sit on the edge of your chair. We're going to rock the pelvis forward, so our back's in a nice neutral position. We're going to lift our chin up, pull our shoulders back and down, and then we're going to lift our head up like someone's pulling a string towards the roof. Okay, from that position there, we're nice and tall, bit of a chin tuck, like we just mentioned. We're going to turn our arms outwards, or our hands outwards, but we want to make sure that we're turning it from our shoulders, okay? And we're going to hold that position and take 3 or 4 deep breaths. Now, it's a really great way of just trying to counterbalance that rounded position. If you want to find out more about the stretch, go and have a look at the blog post I did a few weeks ago. Explains it really well, but it is something really simple to do. And you can do that as a micro break, so every 20-30 minutes. Do this. If you do your 4 or 5 breaths, it's only going to take you 20 seconds. Really great way of just trying to add some movement and some stretching to counterbalance that negative effect of the sitting that we're doing. So tip number 5 is to make sure that you use your headphones, headset, or the speakerphone on your phone. If you are in a work environment and you do use the phone a lot, then often you're going to have the headset on. Hopefully you've brought that home with you if you are now working from home. If you haven't got one, then make sure you use your headphones or the speakerphone on your phone, so that we don't have to hold the phone in our ear in between our ear and shoulder. It is a simple tip, but it can make the world of difference, especially if you are prone to neck or shoulder issues. So make sure you do that if you can. So there you have my top 5 tips on how to minimize the damage if you are working from home in a potentially less than ideal workspace environment. Now, being in lockdown and in isolation is going to be hard for a lot of people. A lot of people can't actually work. I myself, being chiropractor, is face-to-face, hands-on type profession, so I can't actually work. But over the next few weeks, I'm going to keep active by making some videos like this and some blog posts to help try and give you some tips and tools that you can use to help look after yourself at home. If there is anything else you think that it would be good topic to make a video or blog post on, please comment down down below, and I'll do my best to either answer the questions or make that sort of content for you. But in the meantime, take care of yourself and your loved ones, and I'll talk to you soon.